Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SAG-AFTRA podcast. I'm Duncan Crabtree-Ireland, National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator of SAG-AFTRA. And I'm so excited because our guest today is one of the most successful, influential, and prolific songwriters in music history and a SAG-AFTRA member, Diane Warren.
Hi,
Diane.
Good to see you.
But I'm not done talking about you because I wanted to say that your catalog reads like a soundtrack to a modern pop culture. You've written 9 number 1 songs and 33 top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, including such hits as Rhythm of the Night, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, If I Could Turn Back Time, and I'm holding back my Cher impression as I say that, Unbreak My Heart, Because You Loved Me, How Do I Live, Only Love Can Hurt Like This, which is a mega TikTok hit, as I'm sure you're well aware, and many more. And you've been inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame and received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
So someone's walking all over me,
which
is like, it makes sense.
It's a metaphor
kind of
for
like
the industry.
Exactly, basically real life.
And just for those who don't know, because I mean, surely they do, but that you've worked with some of the biggest names in music, including other SAG-AFTRA members, Cher, Beyonce, Celine Dion, Toni Braxton, Whitney Houston, Steven Tyler, the artist Her, Kesha.
Last year, was that this year, the Oscars? I was nominated with, it feels like it was 5 years ago with The Journey.
And it's so exciting that because your personal story is one of persistence, resilience, and proving people wrong, there is a new documentary called Diane Warren, Relentless, which tells your quirky and inspiring story. And with just such a presence and so many years in the business, we wanted to talk to you about how the industry has evolved and what it takes to keep creating music that connects generation after generation, and also about how you cast and work with performers to bring your songs to life, which I think
it is like a casting director. You know.
I also am going to take the opportunity to ask you a little bit about new technology like AI and what effect it's having on how music gets made. And in light of the documentary,
it can't write songs. I mean, I don't care what they do. It can't write. It doesn't have soul.
You know, it's funny. I keep telling people one of my favorite signs from the picket line during our strike in 2023 was actually a Writers Guild sign that said ChatGPT doesn't have childhood trauma.
Wow.
And, you know, I mean.
Boy, that's true too. There's nothing to draw from.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
But, you know, it's funny because when I was thinking about Relentless, both the documentary and yourself, I was thinking about the first time I had the privilege of meeting you, which I think was just one example of a relentless nature, which was you were coming to the SAG Awards that year. And there was some kind of problem. Tickets hadn't gotten taken care of or whatever. And as opposed to being deterred by having this logistical problem, you're like, no, we got to make this happen. And they called me up and I got to go out there and talk to you and we got it worked out.
Thank you.
And it was the first chance I had to see in person the relentless Diane Warren, who I obviously knew about. So I'm just so excited.
The pain in the ass.
Well, you know, I mean, I think being relentless is really critical to having the ability to overcome the incredible challenges of this industry, don't you think?
It is. It really is. You can't take no for an answer. You can't let anything deter you. You know, basically, you know, I came from Van Nuys with knowing no one in the music business, you know, and it was just kind of sheer, you know, hard work and persistence, and just when a door would close and slam on me, there'd be another door next door that I'd try to kick in, and, you know, and eventually, you know, one door opens. And I have a saying that one yes is a you to all the no's that came before.
I love that saying.
You know,
it's funny because when we were just a second ago, you said, you know, being a pain in the ass, and surely that is a part of being relentless, but it has to be paired with the work ethic, right?
Yeah,
because you can't just be the pain in the ass.
You got to have something behind it and stuff. And I just, you know, I was determined. I'm still determined. I mean, I feel like I've never even had a hit. You know, I'm still hungry for, you know, for more, and, you know, to write more songs, and you know, I love all this. It's award season. I love award season, you know. It's fun for me.
Well, it's lucky for us, I think, that you feel that way, because, you know, sometimes the artists feel like, I guess, I'm assuming, they feel like they've done what they need to do, and so we don't get to hear from them, but that's never been the case with you.
Not with me. I feel like I'm just getting started.
That's so great.
Yeah, I love it. I love writing songs. I love, you know, pairing the songs with, whether it's an artist or whether it's a movie, or like we were talking about before, casting. And I literally cast, when I do a song for a movie, I'm literally casting an artist, almost like a casting director, that artist could almost be in that movie. it's an interesting kind of thing.
Do you have artists come to you and they're basically like, please think of me for this? Or is it all in your head in advance and you're just...
It's both. People call me, for something, and then, or I'll think of, I have a song, no matter movie or not a movie, or just maybe I just write a song. I think it's right for somebody. I'll reach out. I'll private message them, But a lot of people call me, and then like I said, for a movie or something like that, it's more specific. And my movie, it was really interesting because I had to cast somebody for my movie.
Was that weird? I mean, how did you
even writing a song for it, which was Dear Me, like, what am I going to write? Because when I do a song for a movie, I want to tie everything together emotionally. It's like, what am I going to write for me? Like, this is my story. And I wanted to talk to that young kid, fucked up kid who I was. I'm just an older version of it now. But no, I'm just, feeling so alone and bullied, and kids were super mean to me. And, I didn't have a super easy childhood, not that anybody does. But, music was a way of healing and escaping. And so when I wanted to write a song for the movie, it was like I wanted to talk to her and say, it's going to be okay. You feel like, doors are slamming on you and everybody's mean and nobody understands you, but you're going to be okay. So, that was the song I wrote.
Did you feel like you wanted an artist who would understand? Like, was that part of it?
I had to cast somebody. And another thing I want to say about the song is that even though it's a personal song to me, it's maybe one of my most universal songs, because people hear the song and cry and they go, thank you. That's how I was when I was a messed up kid and I felt like the world was against me and no one understood me. And your song, gave me a lot, just really spoke to me. So it's interesting that I write a song for me that is like a personal song that's universal, because I think everybody feels like that. They wish they could, tell themselves at a young age that it's going to be okay. It's not as bad as you think. It's worse. Just kidding.
Everyone feels like that, but they don't realize that everybody else feels like that. They feel like they're the only one.
I think we all feel like that, no matter who we are. No one has an easy time of it, or not too many people do. But to answer your question, I had to cast it. It's like, who am I going to get? Who's the character? Who's the authentic character to sing the song? And I knew Kesha. And I thought, God, Kesha's just perfect. Not only because she's a great singer, she sings her ass off. I knew she'd be able to sing it, to nail it. I don't think people know what a great singer she is. You can't tell on some of those records. But I just feel like she's had a hard life.
Yeah, she's been through it.
She's been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And, and even I know she had a hard childhood too. And I thought, what, she's going to viscerally understand this song. And I remember when she came in to hear it, to sing, she started crying, which is in the documentary. It really hit her. And it's like, the song, you spoke to me. I go, I knew that, so I had good instinct deciding on her. So we just did a great video too. That's beautiful.
Well, and I mean, you have a pretty strong track record of having good instinct about who to
it's a casting
with
thing.
Your songs, huh?
It's a sixth sense, Yeah. I know, like that's a really good thing. I know I could have an artist come in, that happens all the time, and I pick the exact right song for them.
Do you have to hear artists perform live in order to get that sixth sense, or can you listen?
I have to hear them sing. I listen to their records
but
too.
a recording is more than enough.
Yeah. That's fine. But that's why I like to meet with someone, because, when I meet with them, I'm hearing their story. I'm hearing what they're going through, and I might think of something that I wouldn't have thought of, like had they not walked in the room, and talked to me, and I would have had it. Sometimes I've had it totally wrong. Like I've had songs to play, knowing I'm having a meeting with someone, and they tell me something. I'm like, no, those songs, I had the wrong totally idea. Let's try this. And then I'm right.
Do you think that the relentlessness is a common factor in like pretty much like all types of creative work? Like, I mean, obviously songwriting. Clearly,
not everybody's relentless, and not everybody has the work ethic in anything.
But I mean, if you have that, that's a key to success, whether you're an actor, whether you're a singer, songwriter, director,
paired with
writer.
Talent. Because you could be relentless. I could have wanted to be an Olympic swimmer and go, I want to just, but I don't know how to do that. But the great thing about like what I did is my, my dream and my work ethic and matched my ability, and my relentlessness matched my ability. So I had a talent I worked hard and I continue to work hard to get to hone my talent, to get better. It's at 10,000 hours. It's probably 100,000 hours with me. It's to just always continually, take it up a notch and write better songs and just get better at my craft. And that I can't speak for other people, but I think probably successful people that longevity. I think longevity. It's probably that because I don't think like Steven Spielberg sits back and goes, wow, I did that. I did, Schindler's List. I'm cool. He's always like, no matter how great his movies are, right. He's always in the mix doing something different and new.
Yeah, building on his prior work or maybe branching out completely.
Yeah. So it's just me. I just want to just keep going and getting better. And just, I write a lot of different kinds of songs too. And of course I love doing the movies, writing songs for movies. It's really fun.
Do you think that songwriters don't get enough recognition for their contribution to music? I've sometimes wondered this.
I think so. Especially now because you have to to find who wrote a song. You have to search the internet. I mean, I think before, it was like you could actually hold an album, which I kind of missed that, to look on, see all the credits and all that. But then there's another way of looking at it. Like people can think Steven Tyler wrote I Don't Want to Miss a Thing when I wrote it. You look at it and go, well, it's not cool. I'm like, no, I want you to, it's like an actor. They didn't write those lines, but when Meryl Streep is saying them, you don't care because she made you believe it. So that's fine. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does, but it sort of made me think. A lot of the stuff you say makes me think more. It made me think about how there is a difference there maybe because somehow I think at least a lot of my friends who aren't involved in the music industry at all, they often don't think about the fact that the lyrics they're hearing from a singer in many cases are not written by that singer.
But a great singer will make you believe that. Just like a great actor. You don't think that they were sitting in a writer's room and people were doing that script or whatever.
Absolutely.
You're going to believe that what they're saying came from their heart because they're great. And a great singer is also a great actor.
Yeah, that's
when you
true.
think about it.
That's very true. I wonder if that means that as a songwriter, you have to be more prepared to rely on your own sense of the quality of the work you're doing rather than the public adulation. Because a lot of songwriters, people never connect the song to the songwriter sometimes,
Yeah, I mean, I've always been happy to be in the background, and I always say, well, my name's on the check. Maybe it's not on the
that
top
does
of the
help,
record.
probably. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a long time ago I did a song for Michael Bolton. It was a song called "Time, Love, and Tenderness," and I remember in the video he was sitting at his piano writing. It was a song I wrote, and I was like at the time going, "Why is he doing that video? He's acting like he wrote my song." And that was me then, and then me now. I don't give a shit. That's great. Let them think that. I mean, let people think that, because it's going to make them buy more into that's coming from him. And you really want people to believe. Again, I'll go back to acting. That's the similarity, is the believability.
Yeah, I think you've hit on something there. And I wonder, though, a lot of times songs have such a special place in people's lives, in a different way than.
But if it's a great song, it means something different to different people.
That's true.
Right? You could write, I have a song called Because You Loved Me. That was in Up Close and Personal when Robert Redford's character dies in the movie and she's basically saying, I'm thanking him. Then it became a wedding song.
Right.
So it's a wedding song and a funeral song. And you got a winner then.
Yeah. If you
weddings and funerals, it's all winning.
If you can just figure out how to add birth into that.
Yeah.
You got birth, weddings, funerals.
Yeah, birth and death and weddings. It's all good. But, people just, these songs, people take them and they mean something different to whatever they are, back to Dear Me, I wrote that about talking to something about me, but, everybody, whatever they were going through, or a song like Till It Happens to You that I wrote, that Gaga sang. I never said what it was, It was written, for the hunting ground about sexual assault on campuses, but I always saw the song as something bigger than that, and that it could be about whatever you're going through. If you were bullied, if you got divorced, or dealing with some, whatever tragedy you're dealing with, and everybody goes, yeah, it's fine, you're going to be okay, and you're like, you don't know till it happens to you. And then it was so. Anyways, I never said what it was, So I do that on purpose. So when I write songs, for movies, again, back to that, I'm never, even though it's specifically for the movie, I want it to live outside of the movie.
So if you consciously leave some ambiguity, then that lets it be universal to the.
It's almost like
people
subconscious.
listening to
I
it.
do that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know, so then someone could take that song and make it whatever they want. So it not only, I mean, first and foremost, of course, it has to work for the movie.
Right,
But
right.
if you can make it work outside of that movie, you know, and that can be for people's own movies, for their own soundtrack of what they're going through, then it's a beautiful thing on top of that.
Do you have a sense that over the years that what makes a hit has changed, or do you feel like it's sort of
Well, it's how a song becomes a hit has changed.
Okay.
You know, I think what makes a song a hit is still a great song, hopefully, you know, a great marriage of words and music, a great record. You know, now it's more with these algorithms, which is frustrating. And, you know, labels don't have artist development like they did, which is sad. There'd be a time where, you know, like someone like Bruce Springsteen now, I don't know how he, like, they don't wait till your second album. They don't even wait till your second single. They'll throw something out. And if it doesn't stick to the wall, they'll drop you like quickly. So it's hard, you know. And especially when there was a lot of signings off of TikTok, because these aren't real artists. You know, they haven't honed their craft. It's that moment. You know, it's maybe that 20 seconds of a song. And, you know, so they were signing a bunch of artists that, you know, that one song did something, then there was nothing there.
To make a sustainable career, I mean, there has to be a lot.
Yeah, you have to be an artist. You have to put in the time, you know, all that. So
then maybe some artists can turn social media platforms, including TikTok, to their advantage if they really, you know, if they do have that.
But it helps if they have an artist, if they're an artist as well, you know.
Right.
But like, I was saying, like labels used to, you know, put, you know, a lot of energy into artist development, and now they're just basically following whatever algorithms or whatever streams, or, you know, which I feel I would not want to be an artist in this era.
And I wonder if something that's going to help with that is the increasing importance of live performance and that connection.
Yeah.
And one of the things that
AI can't fuck with that, you know, until there's what are those things? Holograms.
The holograms.
Who could be touring holograms? Oh God.
There was an episode of Black Mirror about that.
Yes.
Where Miley Cyrus's character was.
That was great.
Yeah, it was
It's scary.
it was scary. Like
all
a
the
warning.
Black Mirror is real now.
Yeah.
Remember with the when I think this woman's husband dies and she got the robot and they took all the stuff off social media, and he's like, oh, that's not that far. I saw something today about a robot that cleans your house. You know, it's weird. Okay,
Yeah,
like it would look like a man. You know, I think
Right.
he was missing.
Was it the one that
something.
has the sweater
Yes,
skin? Yeah,
it's weird. It's like, okay, well,
yeah, they're like, why does
we're
he have a
getting there.
sweater? Well, because it was less creepy than skin. I was
Yeah,
oh,
it's like so weird.
now that I think about it, you're right.
Yeah.
It is less creepy than skin.
Weird.
But,
It's all weird. We're living in a weird time.
well, I mean, maybe, I mean, that's right. And so many people are rightly concerned about AI and what it's doing to our
Not even
culture.
just in our culture, but in life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's scary.
It is scary.
And these AIs are smarter than us, and they're going to realize they don't need us. You know?
Yeah,
It's
I was on a panel, and there was a AI researcher there who was saying that we need to figure out what AI wants.
Yeah.
Basically, so that we could keep AI happy. And I
Isn't that scary?
looked at her, and I literally said, "How about we figure out like what humans want
Yeah, I know.
or need, and how we
No,
can
it's
make
going to get
humans
out of
happy."
control. It's going to
Yeah.
get so out of control.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a concern. But I also think that, you know, it is really at least clear to me that there is something really special and unique about human creativity that AI has not been able to replicate.
No.
And
It's because it has a soul.
Yeah.
AI doesn't have a soul. So it's like, it's empty.
Right. I mean, all of your songs, for example, I mean, your soul is in them.
Yeah.
And so if I went to an AI tool and said, write a song like Diane Warren, it might put words together, but it doesn't
it's not
have...
it doesn't have the heart, it doesn't have the soul.
And I think the fact that so many people are connecting to live performance, and I mean, obviously, this comes from a recorded media union primarily, but nonetheless, I think live performance is so important because that connection is something that AI
can't be duplicated.
Can't duplicate.
Yeah.
Even in a hologram, right? I don't think.
It's so weird. I know.
And yeah, I mean, there was a tour. I won't name the artist out of respect, but there was a tour of a deceased artist with a hologram, and it didn't seem like it didn't really connect.
How can it?
On the other hand, there's ABBA Voyage, right? Which,
but it's with real musicians too.
Yes, it is. And I went and saw it in London. And
I hear it's great though.
It is great, but one of the things that's great about it is the fact that really all of the musicians except the ABBA people themselves are live.
Except the people you really want to see.
And I mean, their whole shtick is you're seeing them as they were in the 70s, which obviously it was very successul. I love them too. And
I was in the, I got the Polar Prize from the King of Sweden. And it had just opened, and they were going the next day to see that,
Oh, wow. So, I mean, I can see there are some people would say, well, that's a great example of how AI technology can actually create jobs for artists because these are real musicians doing the music and everything. And so,
that being said, you don't want that AI actress with actors in a movie.
No. Well, clearly not, judging by the reaction recently to that. I mean, if you were, do you think AI could help you in any way in your creative process at all, or no?
Not writing. I wouldn't go near it as writing, but you could try it as an arrangement tool. You can use it that way. Like what if we tried this, do this, this kind of production with a song? You can use that and utilize that. Just to hear different ways to do a song, but not to make a record that way.
Well, it's really good. I mean, I'm glad to hear that because that aligns with my hopes as well. And I mean, I think we've said that AI can be an augmentation tool that can help people. And I was on a panel.
There could be positives with it, but no, I would never use it as a writing tool.
Absolutely.
I will never, ever do that.
Oh my gosh. So do you think that if you were starting out, now as you imagine yourself starting out now, do you have any advice other than being relentless? Because we're clear on that for sure. But what other advice for someone who wants to, have a great career in the business? What would you
got to be great. You got to first of all, you have to have talent. So you have to work at your talent. You have to work harder than everybody else.
How do you know if you have talent?
I mean, I know. I don't know. Look, when I started out, I wasn't writing the best songs, but I thought they were great. So I guess you have to start out thinking you're great. But if you really suck, you probably shouldn't do it. I don't know.
It's just like so many people will say, will turn you down, And,
I got turned down by everybody.
But
yet, I was like, I was 15. I was like a little brat. My dad would take me to publishers. I'd be like, "You're going to be sorry. I'm going to be the biggest songwriter in the world."
And you showed them. I mean, it kind of worked out, didn't it?
Probably.
But I mean, that's exactly my point, which is you can't let other people define if you're talented too much because then you'll just
I never did. I've always been super confident, even when I had no reason to. But I think that's a great thing. I mean, for me, it served me well.
Yeah.
I can't speak for other people. For me, it served me well because, you have to be your own believer. When no one else is.
Right. And you have to have that passion because and
I still have that. I still have the passion.
Well, clearly. But I mean, I think for being a songwriter, certainly for being an actor or really in this business, if you don't have the passion, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go through so much to achieve success.
100%.
It's funny because SAG-AFTRA members in general, especially actors, but even other types of people that we represent, I mean, a lot of their time is spent finding the gig, finding the job, finding the acting job, doing auditions, or if they're a singer, getting chosen or finding the track that they can record that gets them what they need. And that's not, a lot of people in a different kind of work and not as artists don't have that experience. I mean, look at me, for example. I've been in this job I've worked for this organization for almost 25 years.
Wow.
So that's a very different.
Are you an actor also?
I am not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not since 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
But it was a musical. So the one it was Sweeney Todd.
Oh,
Who does Sweeney Todd with 8th graders though, right?
Yeah, it's dark,
It is a little dark. Yeah. I found the thumb in the pie.
Wow.
So, but I think, it is such a challenging thing and you have to be very resilient.
Yeah, you do. You have to be resilient, relentless. You have to have very thick skin.
Yeah.
You have to love your work.
And believe in yourself, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to. That goes without saying. You have to totally believe in yourself.
So that's what I'm trying to think, how do you know if you should pivot to a different talent, maybe?
I wouldn't know. I only have my experience. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky, again, that my passion aligned with the talent I had for it.
And
I could have wanted to be an Olympic gymnast. What would have happened then? I can't even stand on one foot.
I don't know. Maybe you would have been an amazing Olympic gymnast.
I don't think so. I can't even walk to the, down the hall without falling and tripping on something. So no, probably not.
Oh my gosh.
It's good that I became a songwriter.
Yeah. Would you ever perform the songs that you write?
I really don't. I never wanted to be an artist, so it's not really my thing. I mean, I kind of started making a record just to do one for the f of it. Like, not that anybody wants it, and I was just doing it for myself. So I might get, finish it, because I saved a few songs that are really cool. So, I have no desire to be on stage and sing or anything like that. And I don't think a lot of people want to hear that. I'm not a very good singer. But I get the point across when I'm playing a song for somebody, like an artist or something, especially because they're not going to go, wow, I wonder if I could sing it that good. No one's going to ever say that, ever.
Although sometimes I feel like there are some singers who might not be
great singers the
most beautiful voices you've ever heard, but especially if they're also songwriters,
right,
the connection to what they've written and what they're singing is undeniable.
There's something about that. I remember being at my friend's house and Richard Sherman and Mike Stoller were there, and Richard Sherman was playing all these, Mary Poppins songs, and he's no longer with us. He was a lovely man, and Mike Stoller is still with us, and he wrote, Stand By Me, and so many great songs. And to hear these, they're not really singers, but hearing them sing their songs was just so beautiful.
Well, on behalf of everybody who thinks you're amazing, I hope you will decide to finish that album and give us all a little window into it if it sparks joy for you.
But first of all, I don't think I'm worth giving, songs to. I'd rather give them to people that are worth it, and I'm not.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, Diane, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks,
and
Duncan.
Thank you for being a SAG-AFTRA member who has, really, it's, I think, a source of pride for all of us. And also, we represent recording artists, but sometimes people forget that because they think actors when they see SAG-AFTRA. But
I know, I always think that too. I always think it's,
But we're trying to help people remember, and really stay focused on that because we're out there really fighting hard for.
Thank you for everything you do
for those artists.
Thank you for that.
And they need it. It's a tough business. Yes.
We need advocates. So thank you, Duncan, for everything you do, and thank you, SAG-AFTRA, and thank you for having me on this podcast.
Thanks so much, Diane.
Thank you.
Until the next time. The SAG-AFTRA podcast is produced and edited by Aaron Goddard and John Small. Supervising producers are Pamela Greenwald, Shira Reich, and Michael McNulty, with production and marketing support from Damon Romine, Jalika Conte, Delaney Howard, Brianna Wilson, Margot Giordano, May Wong, Raymond Hernandez, Leah Curtis, Joe Mulgado, and Maria Cabezas. The podcast is hosted by yours truly, Duncan Crabtree Ireland.